This is the Anker SOLIX F2000, a portable power station with a 2048 watt-hour capacity, using lithium iron phosphate batteries with solar charging capabilities that can power up to 12 devices at once with 2400 watt AC output through its various ports. It also has a light on it, and the whole thing has a drop-proof design with 5-inch rubber wheels. It's the kind of thing you keep charged up in a closet. It saves your ass when you need it. It's also great on road trips where I can power everything I need for my mobile workstation, camp gear, things like that. So how useful is 2048 watt hours in my life during a power outage? Well, I wanted to do this test, and the truth is this would take, I don't have enough time to do this test. This would power this stuff for another day plus. So it's a lot. It's just a light and a fan, but that's a lot of time to run a light and a fan. I don't have that kind of time right now. The moment I saw this thing, I wanted to have it for power outages in Texas. So you could like play cards in the dark and like maybe run a kettle, make some tea or something. It's like, oh, the power will be on soon. Or you can run an old PlayStation at a 15-year-old's puberty party. That sounds creepy.
That was kind of fun.
Sounds creepy. By the way, with all this stuff running, we can run it for about another 7 hours as is. It also makes for a pretty killer workstation no matter where you are.
Hey, link in the description for below. Click that subscribe button. Like it up. Go ahead and smash that bitch. The skibbity slasher button.
Okay, let's talk about this thing. First of all, I think it looks great. I don't know if when you think about buying a bunch of electricity that you can store for something, use on the road, if you think about how good it looks as a part of your criteria. But I've been so surprised by the durability, the beefiness, just the looks. These rubber wheels are legit. They're not just, they're 5 inches. They're almost 5 inches in diameter. That's a big deal. Bigger, better. But they also have this like rubber outer that makes it quite, I don't know, feels smooth when you're on cement and stuff like that. And the bigness means you can get through rugged areas. It is 67 pounds. It's heavy. It's big. Towing it around with its little retractable handle thing is great. It makes it super easy. But you're gonna need to pick it up and move it around, especially if you're outdoors. It's heavy. It's just, there's no way around it. It's heavy. But it also is like multiple days of a house in a battery. Obviously, there are tons of ports here, including this NEMA TT30 for recreational vehicles. These USB-Cs all come out at 100 watts each. So there's my laptop charger right there. All I need is like a high-powered USB cable. And as a video production guy with drones and all sorts of things, just 3 of those USB-Cs with this much power, and I'm good to go. But I'm probably gonna bring my mobile rig kind of like this and throw that into there, and now I've got it. These are also 2 car sockets, 12 volts, 10 amps, if you're into that sort of thing. Now, on the back, there is a solar input. This guy here, 11 to 32 volts and 10 amps, 32 volts to 60 volts and 20 amps. There's also a little fuse reset thing and your AC adapter to plug it in. You also have this connector, which is for their extension battery thing, which if you're really backing up your house, throwing on 1 or 2 of those, having those to be able to just like throw on, they're really smart about that. The big one charges first when those are all plugged in. Then this one gets charged. It discharges from this one. It's like Anker's done a lot of smart shit with this. Now, this thing has huge capacity compared to anything that I've used before. I've used lots of smaller batteries. This is, in fact, 3 times larger capacity than any of the batteries I've used before, and much more efficient in terms of cost per watt hour than stacking up multiple of those small batteries. These lithium iron phosphate battery cells are excellent in terms of battery technology. They're rated at 3,000 charges at 80%. They're probably gonna outlast you. So the battery tech is really good. And this whole thing's capable of powering things at 2,400 watts with surges up to 3,600 watts. For me, one of the big things about this is that it is using GaN technology, or GaN, how do you say it? I don't know, but the point is, it's quiet. It's super quiet. You will hear a fan barely. I can have this in the room with me, in a small room with me, powering an entire studio set, and the fan here will not show up on the microphones that I'm using. So that's a big deal. Thanks, GAN. Who's GAN? Do you know Mr. GAN? It's got a 1,000-watt solar input capacity there on the back. You can put a bunch of these panels together, and while it's charging via solar, you can run this to be powering devices. Some batteries don't have that. It's either input or output. This one does them both. Like I said, the expandability is nice when you're going for something like this, but which at the time I'm making this, it's on sale, which is like, it's like $1,000, a little over $1,000 for this thing, and then you can expand it up to 4,096 watt hours. And then you can get multiple of those expansion things. You can expand it, you can just have a bunch of those things lying around. I don't know what you need to power, right? But this thing has good, in my power use of this has good, clean power for all my studio needs as well as just like regular lifestyle stuff. It is so nice to have. It's just so nice. Like just sure, we'll just set up an outdoor little setup and you don't lack anything. Sometimes it feels like you want to get outside and it's nice to lack some things. Like it's like, oh, we don't have power. Let's light some candles. Having this, it's very easy to just wheel out of the closet and use. It also comes with these accessories, okay? You got your AC plug that goes into the wall there. You've got a multiple solar charger setup, right? So you can put in 5 panels there. You've also got a car port that goes into that solar input on the back with a user guide and a 5-year warranty on this thing, okay? 5-year warranty is not that bad. Now, this is extremely fast to charge. This cord that comes with it, you plug it into the back, in just like 1.5 hours, it's up to 80%. So it makes a little bit of fan noise once it starts charging up, but it goes really quick. It goes quite fast. Now, there is an Anker app where you can control this. You can turn on different inverters. You can set them on a schedule. You can say, hey, leave this AC inverter on for the next 2 hours and turn off automatically. You can do that all with the app. It's Bluetooth, not Wi-Fi. And that seems like the kind of thing that is smart and nice to have. Though I think probably the smartest thing to have this for in some ways is as a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply, because it has so much capacity. You plug this in, you plug all your stuff into this. If you have any power outages, this thing works seamlessly with so much capacity. So, not to mention the fact that you can just sort of wheel it around and take it everywhere in your life. That's what I dig so much about this. I can just throw it in the back of the car. It's quite big for that. I probably would do that with a smaller one before I did it with this. Unless I was really going out there. Unless I was really doing studio stuff. Right? The fact that I can power a full studio lighting setup with this, and my cameras, and my monitors, and recharge batteries, and drones, and freaking, lights and cameras action. That's amazing. This makes it possible to do a full-on studio setup in the wilderness. Yes, please. That sounds really good, actually. So that's my take on the Anker. Dude, this thing, again, you can just really power your stuff with it. You're not going to have any worries about that. And then the build is so durable. It feels great. It looks and feels great. So it's the kind of thing that when you have it in your life, you're a little bit like, ooh, what could we use that for? What could we do with that? And the truth is you could do a lot. Shout out to Anker for sending this out and for helping me get this review going. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to go do with this. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Bye.